Greetings my dears in love and light. I'm Nikki Sutton and this is ways to open your solar plexus chakra, your yellow chakra. Okay, so the solar plexus chakra corresponds to the third density. That's this density that we are in now. We are activated in our yellow ray body and we are moving into our green ray body, that of the fourth density. So our third chakra body, our yellow ray body, is activated at the moment. And these are the lessons that we need to learn in this lifetime. Yellow ray lessons in order to progress to the fourth density, where our green ray body will be activated. That is the body we will inhabit. Currently, the third density body, the yellow chakra body, is the body, the physical body. So, we learn the lessons here in the third density in order to start to move into the green, because we need to accomplish these lessons in the third density, the yellow chakra lessons, in order to be able to master or move into the fourth density lessons, which are that of love and understanding. So the solar plexus chakra represents ego, balancing of the ego, and it represents polarization. Polarization is the degree to which we are service to others orientated or service to self orientated, and the mix. So the ideal sort of mix is sort of half and half service to self and half service to others, because you've got to take care of yourself in order to effectively help others, haven't you? Okay, and you need to be catered for and healthy and well yourself. So first of all, ego lessons. Now, what is the ego when I talk about ego? Alright, so it is the human self, the personality, the self-image, the self-esteem, how you perceive yourself, what you are like, how you perceive yourself in reality in relation to others. It's everything about you. It's not just being an egotistical person. That's inflated ego, so that's quite a blocked yellow chakra there. That's an example. It's all about ego work, the all-encompassing sense of self, the tangled web of you, as I call it. Okay, so it's balancing the ego. Now with polarization, the other aspect of the yellow ray, when we are predominantly service to self, we're thinking only of the self. We want others to love us and give nothing much in return. We want admiration, we want power, we want to manipulate others, we want to control others. These are the traits of the self-serving entity, self-serving person. When we're service to others, we want to take care of others, make sure they're okay too. We want to express love to them, and this is where we're moving into green ray. This is why we need to be service to others as well, so that we can move into fourth density positive. So we can help, care, give understanding, and all importantly, forgiveness to others. So it's service to self as well as others. Okay, so blockages in the yellow chakra, in the solar plexus chakra, show up as things like distortions towards power and manipulation and control. So if someone is trying to gain power over others, quite a good example is maybe spiritual teachers, ones who want to gain a lot of followers and feel like they're above them and sit on a throne up high and have lots of minions or something. Anyone who wants to gain power over others rather than helping them. So world leaders who are high in their power rather than being humble and helping everybody else and being on their level. You see, that's a blockage in the yellow ray, seeking power over others and manipulating others, making others do things in service to self, controlling them. There should be no control in the balanced yellow chakra. Being possessive as well, that's another blockage in the yellow ray. So that's a form of control, isn't it? Being possessive. So there's a lot to do with social behaviours in the yellow ray, because it's a lot to do with I and other self. We say other self because we're all one. So I and others. The orange ray, so you can see my previous video on how to open and unblock the orange chakra, the sacral chakra. That's a lot to do with self-realisation. Who am I? But the yellow, as we have already moved into the yellow, that's why we're incarnated as human. We have now to think about not just self, but ourselves in relation to others. So it's a very social chakra. So blockages can also show up as problems with oneness. So seeing I as separate to others. So that's a self-serving thought. I, me, and them. So while we're realizing oneness, we realize we're all one. So this is balancing of the yellow ray. Realizing oneness, we're all one and not separate from others. Another blockage in the yellow ray shows up as something like being a social climber, but excessively, because you're wishing for and hoping for the excessive admiration from others, and climbing implies you're climbing to a point of power where you can have control and influence over others. It's okay being in a position of responsibility, but when you're accepting a power and control over others, that's a different matter. And if you're wanting that, that shows a blockage. So also bad managers want this kind of power as well. You know the difference between a good leader or manager and a bad leader or manager? A good leader will listen to everyone and work with everyone and not act like he's better than everyone else. But a bad leader or manager will be a right old so-and-so, right? So they are showing up blockages in the yellow ray. Okay, now another blockage can show up during sex as well, and finding a partner is when that you find partners in order to boost the ego. So having lots of partners, a string of partners for the purpose of boosting one's ego and feeling great about the self. Now these are blockages in the yellow ray, in the solar plexus chakra. But blockages can also show up as the opposite as well. So these sounded quite extreme, right? But a blockage can also be when you have no power, like extremely lacking confidence. So you are beneath others. If you feel like you are beneath others, then that's a blockage too. So it's the pendulum swing, isn't it? It's the other end of the spectrum, having no power, feeling very small. Another one is being easily manipulated and controlled. So you have the manipulator controller, and then you have someone who shows up as a blockage because they're easily manipulated and controlled. They don't have boundaries in place, for example. Another one is if you're a people pleaser or don't take care of yourself. So these are blockages too. It's not saying you're a negative person. It's just saying that one needs healing. If that you are extreme people pleaser, it's different to caring for others. A people pleaser needs to please others in order to keep them happy because they have no confidence in the self. And someone who doesn't take care of themselves. Someone needs healing if they're not taking care of themselves. But again, it shows a blockage in the yellow ray. Also, social anxiety, feeling very uncomfortable around others. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means that energy is not free flowing. So a degree of acceptance is required. So if you're anxious around others, it can represent that you're resisting the fact that you're anxious around others, that you don't want to be around others, and that there's healing to do with perceptions of the self as well. A degree of acceptance of to how much you want to be alone. So it's acceptance, yes, I am happy with my own company and being alone, but when I'm with others, why do I still experience anxiety? Because healing is required there. There might be reasons from your past. Perhaps you were ridiculed or bullied or things like that, which can cause social anxiety. So healing is needed. So that also shows a blockage in the yellow ray. Okay, and desire to be controlled or possessed. So some people, they want to be possessed. They want to be controlled by, let's say, a partner. And that is showing a blockage as well. So here, it's all about balancing out, isn't it? And may I stress that everyone balances differently. And it's deciding to what degree you want to be. So a key here is service to self and service to others. To what degree your service to self and service to others? You can be very service to others as long as you are still a bit service to self and taking care of the self. It's deciding what you are. And then with the ego and the balancing, to what degree do you seek power? Or what degree do you want to be dominated and people have power over you? A kind of good place would be in the middle, but that's for you to decide and to balance. It's by making these things conscious and deciding these things about the self. So let's say being a social climber, to what degree do you want the recognition of others? Or to what degree do you not want to be seen? Or do you not want to avoid others' eyes looking at you or knowing about you? Perhaps it'll be something good in between, because we can become a little bit emotionally self-sufficient and validate ourselves rather than requiring the recognition and validation from others. So it's just choosing to what degree. These things are on poles, like with the Hermetic principle of polarity and duality as well. There are poles. To what degree am I each? To what degree do I need possessions to augment my personality? And do I want nothing at all? Do I just want to have absolutely nothing but the clothes on my back? So it's like deciding what it is in between. To what degree do I manipulate others or allow them to manipulate me? Well, a good place would kind of be in the middle, where neither happens. So it's just looking at self and bringing it conscious, and it's all inner work. Okay, so lastly, you can do a little visualization to help cleanse and clear the solar plexus chakra. And the visualization I usually give out is when you start to meditate, you can meditate for about 15-20 minutes or less if you like. And then visualize your solar plexus chakra spinning like a wheel. And then you can visualize white light, healing energy pouring into that chakra and making it cleanse and clear and balance. You can visualize the light coming from up above, straight ahead, or an aura around you and a stream of light coming in. Just have a stream of white light, protective, healing energy flowing through that chakra. You can have it coming out the back if you wish as well, and cleansing and clearing it. And what that does is it tells your higher self, it tells creation your intention to cleanse and clear that chakra, and thoughts create reality. Thoughts manifest all sorts of things, and your intention there is to cleanse and clear that chakra with white light healing energy. So it's a little visualization for you while you're meditating. So I hope you found that helpful on balancing the yellow chakra. It's a lot to do with personality work, and that's what people don't always realize. And if you balance and heal the yellow ray body, the yellow chakra, then you're better able to accept the lessons of the fourth density, that of love and understanding, and it'll be the green heart chakra I do next time I do a video on chakras. And that is where we're moving to, that is where we're ascending to, and we need to get these yellow ray lessons down first, and that's why this video is pretty important actually. So leave me and others a comment on what you think about all this. Support this Spiritual Awakening YouTube channel on Patreon and receive weekly bonus videos. You can also choose to receive spiritual guidance via email or spiritual sessions. And remember to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to receive regular spiritual inspiration on your journey through life. Like and share also, because we're raising the mass vibration together. So go now in love and peace.